Oh my God, you're gonna love it.
Hey folks, welcome to the AI Chicks, where we're providing you cool conversations about AI for all. With each episode bringing you a different topic on how AI impacts your daily life.
I'm your host, Aisha, always coming in with the fun, unique tech insights. And I got my bestie here.
Hi guys, I'm Lana, bringing the curls, the charisma, and that entrepreneurial energy.
And today we are getting into something that we haven't done before, which is AI scams and scandals. We are going to cover some unique scams and scandals that are going on in the artificial intelligence space. And Lana, where should we start? Because there's been so many.
Yeah, so I think we need to start first with CrowdStrike. That was such a big scandal, if you will.
Yeah.
For those that don't know or are not aware, if you were flying around the time that CrowdStrike had its outage, you definitely felt it.
Yeah.
But essentially, CrowdStrike, they were doing a software update that ended up being botched, for lack of a better word. And that actually impacted a lot of industries because CrowdStrike, their platform really actually feeds so many industries. It impacted healthcare, airplanes, banking, financial institutions, and actually they estimated it impacted Fortune 500 companies, causing them to lose up to $5.4 billion.
Wow.
That's a big IT boo-boo.
And the unique thing about this, with a lot of these tech companies that are being so prevalent in the AI space, there's a limited amount of these companies. It's interesting to see that some of them are starting to have like an unknown monopoly on some marketplaces in different industries. So with CrowdStrike and this situation, this scandal, I feel like it was a wake-up call to show how much they are controlling the marketplace globally and in different industries. Now, obviously, there was an investigation to really decipher what happened, but I think that it's a good lesson to learn about certain AI companies that do have a monopoly, that if one thing happens, it can impact the world and multiple industries in a big way. And I think that we've talked about this within the chip industry and semiconductors. There are such a few companies that supply these devices. And so if something goes down, it impacts multiple industries across the globe.
It's really about the competition and having a lot of different vendors or suppliers.
Supply and demand chain.
Exactly. Something happens, it's not going to have this big one fell swoop taking down all of these industries. I mean, that was really quite remarkable, actually.
Yeah.
I think moving on to the next, we all love our music. And one of the things that have been coming out with AI is AI music, wanting to create music using AI tools. And this man from North Carolina, he decided to take his entrepreneurial spirit in the wrong direction, okay, and do something that was very scammy. He created AI music.
Yeah, and that's not against the law.
Exactly. Well, what he did then is create all these fake accounts to then boost up his streams to then collect royalties.
Yes.
That's the scam part.
Yes. And so basically, over time, he was getting these bot accounts to stream his music up to about 600,000 plays per day.
Yeah.
So then from a revenue standpoint, he was getting millions of dollars in royalties that ultimately led to him making $10 million plus doing this scam. That's what really drew the flag. I'm sorry, you guys, but there's probably other people that have been doing some sort of deception with bot accounts and using that to boost their impression or boost their plays. That's been happening in some way, shape, or form.
He just made a little too much money.
Or a little too greedy.
Yes.
Either way, I think that AI probably took him down because the analytics lagged for the Spotify's and the Amazon Musics of the world, and they are using AI and analytics to monitor their plays as well. Mm-hmm. So I think that someone saw the flag and looked into it. So it's this interesting thing, not that I'm condoning, I'm just saying this is interesting because I don't think what he's doing is anything new in the tech scammy, deceptive world. I just think that why it became such big headlines is because of the caliber and the level of what he was doing and the fact that he was able to, over time, make $10 million plus off of this scam.
Right. That kind of goes to the kind of other headline that we saw about the FTC cracking down on AI.
Yes, exactly. So they started something called the Operations AI Comply, which is them cracking down on companies that are using AI to be deceptive in how they do their services or how they garner revenue. And I definitely want to get into some quick examples that, the FTC is starting to crack down on.
Yeah, I think some of those examples that I think a lot of people can understand is one of the things that they were cracking down on is using AI to generate fake reviews.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously that's misleading the consumer. And that's really what it's about, misleading and being deceptive to the consumer. Another thing was like people who are selling AI lawyer services. And there were some, I think, deceptive practices there that they wanted to make sure to really protect the consumers in what they are paying for, making sure they're getting actually what is promised to them.
Yeah. And a quick example of that is I'm bringing up the article here just to give you guys some facts on it. This company was called Do Not Pay. And basically they were promoting the world's first robot lawyer, implying that they did not have to pay for a lawyer through using this sort of AI lawyer. You could substitute a AI lawyer for a human lawyer. And the FTC, really cracked down on the do not pay entity that was doing that. Another quick example is everybody saying like their company's AI. And some of them are like 1% AI, right? Or 0% AI. And so there was a company that was putting false claims that they were using cutting edge AI to power and service their customers, which was, again, false claims. So it's really interesting to see between bot accounts for music to misleading false claims with AI tools. There's a lot of growth that is happening when we're talking about really cracking down on AI scams with, the federal government and these, commission organizations.
Which I think is good because I think that it's very important that while we are excited about AI and technology and the progression, it's not supposed to be deceptive. And I think that it's important that people don't misuse the technology. But listen, with any new thing, there's always going to be those few. And that North Carolina man found his loophole in the music industry and he took it.
Yeah, and it led to $10 million and now is being charged with 20 years in prison. All right, so let's get into one last scam and scandal. This is really, I feel like, falling under the scandal side of AI. 45,000 dock workers and longshoremen went on strike, part of the union from the East Coast and the Gulf Coast. And the uniqueness about why I wanted to bring this up, obviously there's a lot of other factors of why they went on strike, but it's just a sign of yet another group that has concerns about AI and how AI is being implemented into their industry. I experienced strikes in the entertainment industry, and AI was a big sticking point of why both sides were coming to head and why it took so long to find a solution, because they were disagreeing on how to handle AI within the entertainment industry for the writers and IATSE, a few of the other entertainment unions that were on strike at that time. And now we're seeing something very similar with the dock workers and the longshoremen, in which a big part of the issues within their strike points was that they want to put parameters and limitations around automation and robotics that is being implemented into the ports.
Right. And that's obviously one of their concerns is job elimination. But again, what's so interesting about this is these are dock workers from Maine to Texas. I mean, this is impacting how we are receiving goods into our ports.
Yeah, this is much more than just movies. This is goods coming into the country.
Yeah.
And so for them to also be having such a strong stance on how AI is implemented into their industry, specifically on robotics and automation, it just shows that the expansion of AI across different industries is really coming to a head with what is the best way to be implementing AI. And so, there's a lot of other factors happening with these strikes, but it was just something to really highlight and seeing yet another strike where AI is a major sticking point.
Different industries are adapting AI at different rates. AI is starting to spread out across the different industries, the production chain, the supply chain, all of the different ways that it's going to be impacting. Then we're going to come up with, okay, people having issues with maybe how it's going to be incorporated, to the extent that it's going to be incorporated, what it's going to be allowed to do, what it's not going to be allowed to do, and how can we find a line of using AI to improve operations, to improve efficiency, to improve productivity, but at the same time having some preservations for the workforce. And I think we're going to see more of that.
Well, I think we covered a good array on different scams and scandals happening around artificial intelligence. We hope that you guys enjoyed this unique and fun, different conversation on the AI Chicks. We thank you guys so much for joining us. And what else, Lana?
You know what? Don't forget to follow us, subscribe, and grab the merch.
That's right, you guys. Take care. Bye.
Listen to the AI Chicks on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Video episodes are available on Patreon. And check out our socials at The AI Chicks.